The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Table Topics. Carlos, bom dia. Como você está?
Estou bem. Como é que tu estás?
Excelente. I don't know if that's even a word.
No, it is. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Very good. All right. Good. Good.
Listen, I'm doing the show today from home. See if I can get a better reception from the internet.
Okay.
And supposedly it's working. It's working better. So when I do over the phone, they use data, and sometimes the data on the phone it's not. I guess my data on the phone it's not that great.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it looks good though. Looks good.
You know something? I'm cheap, so $60 bill for a phone. It's good for me.
Wow, is that one just for one phone?
For my phone, that's it.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
They're getting expensive and expensive.
Yeah. No, it's not cheap anymore for sure.
No, it's not. So a lot going on the city. What's going on?
Well, I turned on the news yesterday and try not to watch too much of it, but I guess we had a shooting where two people were killed.
Yes.
A 14-year-old young man and also a 29-year-old young man as well. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Kind of scared.
According to Linda, we just finished the show. According to Linda, I think they are from the same family.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
It's just sad that, a 14-year-old, that's really young. I don't think we've ever had anything like that here in Fall River where somebody young like that has been killed. So it is a sad day for sure, But
so my first question is those legal weapons?
Well, of course not. So that kind of leads me into this, and I appreciated Chief Cardoza during that interview, where they said, was it a semi-automatic weapon? Was it an automatic weapon? No, was it an automatic weapon? That was their thing. And he was looking at them. The only automatic weapon is a machine gun, as the chief had said. So, it kind of all goes in. Yeah, were these legal weapons? I doubt it very much. So we have the toughest gun laws, or one of the toughest gun laws in the country, Massachusetts, and we still have these issues. Down south, it's not as much of an issue, and they're very lenient with their gun laws. So, who's to say? You
think this? I still think it's too easy to buy a gun.
Not at all, Carlos. In this state, you got to take a class, a gun class that you got to take and pay for. Okay, on safety.
Wow. You're talking about a legal gun.
Yes, I'm talking legal. Yes, I'm talking if you're doing this legal.
What I'm talking is it's very easy to buy an illegal gun.
Well, if it's that easy, then what I'm getting at is that we have a very strict gun control law in this state, and we still have the issues. So if you'd want to get if you want to get a gun license, you're going to go to a gun class, safety class. Then it's going to probably take you more than 100 days to get that. You have to fill an application out. You have to be fingerprinted, and they look at your background. So 100 days, what's that? 30, 60, 90, over 3 months, and you have to take your safety class. So I think we have really strict gun laws in this state, but to say that's going to stop this, it doesn't. I find the states that have very strict gun laws, like Massachusetts, like Illinois, like New York, they're the ones that have the most gun crime. So, laws don't always solve the problem. if you get even stricter on these gun laws, what happens is who has them? Not the regular
Mhm.
citizens, but the criminals. You know. So
One part that makes me sad is when something like this happens. They target a neighborhood. You know, that could happen in any neighborhood. That could have happened on my neighborhood. That could happen on your neighborhood.
yeah,
And it's like, okay, here he goes again, Corkery Road. The neighborhood has nothing to do with the event. They could be from my neighborhood,
yeah,
and they were fighting on Corkery Road neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me sad when they put a tag on the neighborhood.
yeah. Well, you know, in fairness, so Carlos, there is more of a presence of crime in that area. I mean, we know that by the neighborhoods. There's certain neighborhoods that they're gonna, you know, that they have to attend to more than other neighborhoods. Where, you know, so if anything, you look at it in another sense that the neighborhoods that have the most problems have the most police protection. The neighborhoods that don't are not getting.
It's just like the Flint. That could happen on the Flint too, because you know we had bad boys on the Flint too.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
you know, so that's why it's like, you know, tomorrow could be on my neighborhoods or your neighborhoods, because parks are open now.
Yeah.
That's one thing that when the police give us reports on our neighborhood meetings, that's the scariest part for the police department, is when the weather start getting better.
Yeah.
The numbers start rising.
Yeah.
Because they late at the parks, and they trying to cut the time. Now 9 o'clock, they don't want nobody on the parks.
Yeah.
You know how it's a public park. How are you going to tell people not to be at the park at 9 o'clock? I would love to be in the park at 9 o'clock. I'm not there to mess with nobody. I'm not there with guns. I'm not there selling drugs. It's a city park. It's an open space. I want to be free to be there.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's where there are issues a lot of times, unfortunately, at the parks. There's shootings. A lot of times we don't hear about what really goes on. There are shootings that if you listen to the police scanner, you hear there's shootings at, you know, different parks. And by the time they get there, of course, you know, and it's not the police fault. It's just they don't get there in that time. So there's a lot more going on that, you know, we don't always know about. So
and another thing, John, another thing is we spending a lot of taxpayer money to fix parks.
Yeah.
If we're going to fix parks, we're going to make people go to the park more.
Yeah.
So on the Flint, we have a park that, you know, I love the park, is nominated after a person that I love her.
Yeah.
But it's a dangerous park. It's a park that has a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I prefer people not to use that park than people being robbed and chased on that park.
Yeah.
So and now the city wants to renovate the park. And I'm against it, because I said, if we're going to put money on that park, security should be priority. We should spend a lot of money on security. Do you want to fix the park? Do you want to kick that people out of that park? You're going to have to invest in cameras. You're going to have to put security there. Yeah. Because right now, I prefer people not to use that park and be safe.
Yeah.
And but they want to change that. So you know, it's like, in one hand it's good because we're going to renovate the park, but on the other side I'm worried, because if we renovate the park but we don't change the people that goes to that park, they're going to have a brand new park just for them, but the community cannot use it because they don't feel safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't tell people you can't say who and who cannot go to a park. So it kind of opens that up. You know what I mean? With anything, they're trying to make things, you know what I mean, equitable in each area. That every area, like Corky Road, that playground was just renovated about a year ago.
Mhm.
A year or two ago. So you want to make sure you're fair with everybody. And I think
But
that's
some of what I found too is because of the name,
yeah,
people try to stay away from that area.
yeah,
And I'm going to tell you this: when I did the movie nights,
yeah,
I included the Corky Road because what? Because I see kids playing, and back then was not even swings there. I mean, it was nothing in there.
yeah,
You know, it was nothing in there. But you will see kids there all day long.
yeah,
So that's why when we booked for movie night, I said definitely Corky Road. People were like, "Oh, I don't know if you want to be that late in that park."
yeah,
Yes, I want to be that late in that park because if we there, nobody's gonna there to mess around because we there. We have the police there. We have everybody there. Okay,
yeah,
we have a lot of adults there,
yeah,
so nobody's gonna there to mess. But those kids deserve to be at the park late at night and enjoying a movie just like any other neighborhood.
yeah. But
And I'm glad that I did.
yeah, yeah. But it all goes back to, Carlos, what you were saying before. You don't want, the kids that they're going to renovate the park for in the Flint. You don't want to not do that because of what may happen. I mean, what's going to happen is the people that use the park got to take some ownership too, to, if they see wrongdoing going on, to notify the authorities. You know what I mean? And that's,
No, what I want them to do is to add into the project security.
yeah,
That's what I want. You add security into the project. You add couple of cameras there. I'm pretty sure that those people are going to stop going in there because they know they're being taped.
they'll probably break the cameras though. I'm trying not to be negative, but I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know if cameras will always,
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you this. We had an old camera that was not even connected there.
Yeah.
Okay. But they put it down.
Yeah.
Not somebody, or the city or the police department put that security camera down.
Yeah.
And that's when we start having all kinds of problems there.
Yeah.
Because before, maybe it was just the outside. I don't think it was even a camera there, but it was just the outside of the camera there was enough for them to be scary to do something in there.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, Carlos, from what I've seen over the last week, it's been fairly warm. I feel bad for the Fall River Police because it's going to be it's going to be a chaotic summer, because I was coming back from, I don't know, it was probably PetSmart or whatever on Rhode Island Avenue to Plymouth Avenue, and there were 3 or 4 kids on those four-wheelers doing papa wheelies in the street as cars are trying to go by. You know what I mean? They don't have the manpower to police everything that's going on right now. You're in somewhat of a side street. The noise from these motorcycles, trucks is probably the worst in the last 27 years that I've had here. And we're not even in the summer yet. It's been the loudest, you know what I mean, in the last 27 years. It's been crazy. So it goes to the police don't have the time to go after things like that. It's a quality of life issue, but they don't have the time, So I'm looking at it in a sense that they're really looking at things like, look, we got to solve this murder or these 2 murders. That's what they're going to be concentrating on. As far as that, what's going to happen? Let's face it. Somebody wrecks the equipment there. What's going to happen? They'll go to court. They'll get a ticket and they'll be out the next day. You know what I mean? That's just how things run now. We that by your neighborhood meetings. What happens to this person? They get you before.
I mean,
3 strikes, you're out. Now it's 100 strikes and you're out.
And the funny thing too is driving a bus and just driving my car around, I can see a lot of infractions being done. People don't stop for stop signs.
No.
People don't stop for people crossing streets.
Nope.
People fight if somebody cuts in front of you.
Yep.
You know, they just come out of the streets. They do the stops right in front of your car. Okay, they don't even do the stops inside the street. They do the stop right on the middle of the street already. They ending. So it's crazy. People are fighting for anything. People are screaming. People are beeping cars. You know, it's like what is going on?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I think what. Sorry about that. I think what's happened is, you know, we've had a condition where everybody's been pretty much locked down for 18 months or a year and a half, right? We get conflicting information about wear a mask, don't wear a mask. If you're vaccinated, you cannot wear a mask. Then people are complaining, well, how do I know who's vaccinated? It's all this craziness. And then we expect that people aren't going to act crazy. You know what I mean? It's,
but when it comes to the mask situation, my thing is, when you release, do you want to release the masks for everybody? You're going to have either way, if they're vaccinated or not vaccinated, doesn't matter. If you want to stop the masks, you're going to stop the masks. The only difference is, I know I have last chance to get it to get infected because I was vaccinated. You don't want to be vaccinated. Take your chance. That's up to you.
Yeah.
You know, you want to risk it you for your freedom. You want to risk your life, you know, and maybe not get out of this. It's your choice. It's your choice. So that's what I'm saying. They cannot take a lollipop from a kid and give him back again. You know, kid's gonna cry. So that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna take it from me that I'm vaccinated, they're gonna have to take it from you that you're not vaccinated.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna be. Oh, I'm not gonna be walking around with the sign that I'm full vaccinated, so I don't need a mask. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they in China, what they've done is they put it on their phone. So I'm amazed in this country that people are willing to give up their freedom. You know what I mean? And it's like they would say right now, well, I'm vaccinated. What do I care? That's where it starts. You know what I mean? Show your papers. Do people realize that's what's happened over time through history? We never learn from history. Never, ever do we learn from history. You know, it's always for the sake of safety. These things are always for your safety, you know, and then the next thing you know, you don't have any freedom anymore. So I'm amazed, as this being America, that's how people are. I want to know, you should check people's licenses or their vaccination thing. It starts here and then it goes from there, you know, and it's just ridiculous. I think that, you know, the CDC said this, all the states need to abide by it, not like Rhode Island's getting rid of it next week. Massachusetts, no, we're going to wait till Memorial Day weekend. There's no consistency in this stuff. So people tend not to believe things. Is it worse in Rhode Island? I mean, is it worse here in Massachusetts than Rhode Island that they can get rid of their masks a week earlier? It makes no sense. But in Florida and Texas, you haven't had to wear a mask in months. So this is what people get crazy about.
I think that people are realizing they don't have to. They're not going to be forced to take the vaccine. So that's why I think that a lot of people are turning around and getting the vaccine. And, you know, I was not going to get the vaccine, but guess what? You know, I mean, what do I got to lose?
Well, Carlos, what do you take?
But they're actually not being forced to get the vaccine.
Well,
forced to get the vaccine is if you're going to apply for a job and they say, I cannot hire you if you don't have the vaccine.
That's already happening. That's already happening right now.
But that's forcing you to get the vaccine.
Well, that's happening now. Schools and colleges are forcing some kids to get the vaccine before they report to school. That's forcing people to do something.
Or to travel. It's been talked about for you to get in the plane that you're going to be required to have the vaccine. You know, so then that it's mandatory. If you go that way, then it's people are forcing you to do stuff.
something
Yeah.
that someone may not want to do. You know what I mean? And that's not the country we live in. But you know, we all got to look at it. They're forcing the whole world to take a vaccine for a disease that kills 0.1% of the people under 55. So, anyway, let's get on to some better news than that. And I saw something in the paper the other day that I guess Chipotle is going to be opening in the Aldi Ocean State Job Lot Plaza there. They're going to be opening a restaurant there. So I'm sure they got to build the building out, but that was good news to hear. I guess they went through the planning board. So it looks like that one's on track. And I believe Chick-fil-A is looking at a parcel in the South Coast Marketplace. You know where the theater is? There's that empty lot. They said that was supposed to be a restaurant, but so that place has a drive-through. I mean, I think it'd be do fairly well in Fall River, considering the nearest one's in Seekonk for Chick-fil-A. I think that's the nearest one. Chipotle is Dartmouth, Seekonk, and down in, I believe, Middletown. So I think they do fairly well here as well. So another choice, and it's great to see another company that has some positivity with Fall River. So that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, positive things.
What you think of the new Cumberland Farms right on your neighborhood?
You know, I have mixed feelings with that. I feel bad for a point to a point for the neighbors there. However, that is going to probably block a lot of the noise they get on Brayton Avenue now. That building will block a lot of noise, I'm sure, for them. I'm sure it's going to be crazy busy there. And yeah, it's going to present some noise that they're not used to, but they were probably used to the, you know, that traffic noise. I'm sure it was an empty lot there. So I'm sure that echoed, at least for the first few houses on that lot.
Well, I have two concerns there that I'm waiting to see the results. Number one, it's the water drainage. That's a big concern I have, because that street has a lot of water problems, draining water problems, and we adding another big building there that's gonna bring a lot of water to one drain, and on top of it, the car wash. So I hope that the drain there, okay, is not going to overflow again, and those neighbors going to have again problems. That's why. And I'm going to have to, if that happens, I'm going to have to go over, and people responsible for that is the licenses, the boards that give licenses to put that without checking that. Number two is the two driveways into Stevens Street are right across from the drive-through from the Rockland Bank. Traffic. So that's my second issue, that I think they didn't did a study in there where to replace those driveways, and they replaced them right across from each other. I think it was a big mistake. They should have one small driveway on Stevens and two big drive-ins on Brayton Avenue, because it's a lot more space to do that on a big road that was on that tight street over there.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to bring, more traffic. I noticed there was more traffic when the Walmart moved in, the Sam's Club moved in. And I'm just, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to solve the way people drive. I mean, just 2 weeks ago near me, a car hit two other cars, totaled those cars, totaled the kid totaled his car. I mean, you're not going to slow people down other than put speed bumps out here. So I'm sure there's going to be issues there, because it's another business coming out into a busy road, that's almost near the highway.
And we have talked about that light when Walmart opened there. That light on the bottom of Warren Street makes no sense there.
Yeah.
It's a problem of traffic in there because now you have trucks coming out of the mill, you have people coming out of Warren Street, you have people that want to turn into Warren Street, backing up the lines all the way back to the driveway of Walmart. You know, I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
That light over there was a big mistake, and it's a big mess.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. It would have been better. I thought it was supposed to go at the Walmart back entrance. That back entrance where I think it's
Exactly.
Grinnell Street. I think it's Grinnell or Cambridge.
I think it was a big mistake, and I think the neighbors over there, they should get together and try to remove that light because that light makes no sense in there.
No, I hear you. So anything else new?
No, other than that, I'm going to Portugal in August, so I already contacted Zandrad there. So I probably gonna schedule a couple of shows there. I'm hoping that he could schedule an interview with the president of Azores there because he works on the government now, so he's Secretary of Communities. So but I will go there I will be a week in there. So
Why not go for a couple weeks? You get the whole summer off, right? A part of the summer off.
I can't be out that long, and I mean my reason to go there is pretty much to see my parents. But I'm looking forward to bring a group in 2022. And I've been having a lot of requests from my post on Facebook. A lot of people want to join me 2022 for that trip to Azores again. I'm looking forward to bring a lot of people there. And in November, I booked the Norwegian from Spain. So we're going to visit Spain, France, and Italy.
Oh,
it's going to be a 6-night cruise, so I think that people are going to enjoy that one too. So
yeah, no,
we will have time to talk about and make a lot of plans.
All right, cool. 2022 is the year, I guess, huh?
2022, yes. I'm scheduling a small cruise this year, just so I can get out of here with the family.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to Bahamas, like a 3-night cruise, just to Coco Cay Island, and spend another 3 nights in Orlando, visit a couple of parks, just to get the family together because we survived this year and a half. Was like a lot of fights, so we need all to come together and families see if we still can survive the rest of the pandemic.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Well, we were going to talk about trash from last week, but I guess we can, since we had the new news, we can save that for next week.
Okay. Yeah, that will be fine. So until next week, stay safe, wear your mask, don't get your vaccine if you don't want to. It's up to you. After next month, you still can shake my hand because I'm vaccinated. That's your problem if you're not.
Yeah, that's hey, you're right. You're right. All right.
So until then, stay safe.
Yeah. Have a good night.